Come on, ladies. Up and at 'em. Here we go. You guys know what I just heard on the radio? I think it's absolutely wild. So apparently, with DoorDash, they now allow you to make payments, monthly payments, on your food orders. Stuff's getting out of hand, guys. It's getting out of hand. A little bit of financial advice from your buddy Dalton, who has no reason to be giving it, but I'm going to. If you're financing a Big Mac, probably just don't do that. Probably just make your own cheeseburger, local grown beef, obviously. Or if you must have the Big Mac, walk yourself to McDonald's and get it. Don't finance a Big Mac. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Anyways, now that I got that off my chest. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. We got a brisk 24-degree morning. Clean the barn. Got the cows moved. Gonna push that outside, load it on the manure spreader, and get rid of it. As we do every morning. I got a heifer to show you. And she actually found her way to the end of the pen. Let me show you. All right, this heifer on the left here, she's a perennial daughter. I don't know much about him. Jack said he's a type-year bull. This is our third perennial we've had, and they all look just like her. They're tall, they're long, they're dairy, a little narrow in the front end, but all had nice udders. You can see she's just a big, tall, leggy thing. A little high in the pins. The throw set back a little bit, but that's a heifer. If I wanted to take one to the county fair, I could definitely fit her and get her looking decent on a halter. And she's relatively friendly, even though she's acting spooked right now, but definitely got a big rugged front end. And like I said, they all stand 6 inches taller than the rest of them. All right, you go ahead. I know I'm spooking you, but you see her in there with the other heifers and cows. Big, tall, she's got a nice rump. I just wish, like you said, the angle of that rump was a little bit better, but yeah, that's my heifer for the morning. It's always funny. I do prefer, like I said, I prefer the commercial cow to work with, but because of my type background and my secret love for show cows, I don't love working with show cows. I despise pretty much everything about them, but I do love, it doesn't make any sense. I do love show cows and I do love showing them. So they always catch my eye, heifers like that. It's like, huh, you got something a little bit different. And then come to find out, it's a type bull. So they definitely have those traits. Problem is those traits aren't necessarily what's best for them on a commercial dairy, but it's a love-hate relationship, guys. But figured I'd show her to you. I don't know why that humble and kind's jumping her right now. I don't know. My luck, she'll be open. Watch. Yeah. I shouldn't be showing you guys any cows. All that does is jinx them. I go and show you guys a heifer, and now she'll end up being open or something stupid like that. So I'm just gonna out of here. Back to work, guys. All right, got the fresh group all clean. So this whole barn is officially cleaned. Got to get a shovel up here and toss some of this sand into the stalls. The shooter and the cows kind of push it out. A couple of people have asked why we don't have concrete walls at the ends here. That's just basically for airflow. You know, especially coming in and out of the barn. We found that when we had, because our old barn, we've got concrete walls in every crosswalk. And what ends up happening is the sand ends up building up on the end, and the stall a lot of those stalls don't end up getting used. Also, like I said, just airflow. We just find the cows don't find it as comfortable. The only spots in this barn that we do have concrete walls are like right here behind the water troughs. That's just obviously so when the cows are flicking water around, that doesn't fill in the stalls. So we did put concrete walls behind all the water tubs. But I do, you know, once a month I take a shovel and I kind of throw this stuff back in. Otherwise you'll end up having a big mountain of it out here. How was milking this morning, ladies? Huh? How'd you guys make out? Huh? So today's kind of going to be a catch-up slash get ahead day on the dairy. So as you guys that follow me know, the last couple weeks I've been just hauling grain, corn, hauling manure. We've been working in the shop on that merger. Obviously there's always people on the dairy doing the cow work, but when you take 2 or 3 of us away for doing crop stuff, I'm not gonna say we get behind, but there's things that we can get back ahead. So for example, today we're gonna move cows out of this group. This is our fresh group. So once cows hit around 60 days, depending on how many animals are in each pen, we'll pull cows out and we'll put them in other pens. We dry cows off out of the other barn, obviously because they're not fresh. We wouldn't be drying any cows off of this pen. So there's holes to be filled in that barn. This pen here has got more cows than it needs. So we've got a list of cows to get out of here today and put in the other pens. Today is Tuesday, so every other Tuesday we do preg check on the farm. The vet comes out and we ultrasound the cows to see if they're pregnant and also to see if they have twins, to see what sex the calf is, all of that stuff. And when we do that, we move pregnant heifers out of the heifer barn to our off-site locations where our pregnant heifers stay. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna get cows out of this pen. We'll try to get some bedding done a little bit early. Usually Wednesday and Thursday we bed, but we'll do this barn just to get this barn checked off the list. Because tomorrow and Thursday, we're gonna be back to moving manure. I got a custom truck coming in and we're gonna get hammering on that while the weather is the way it is. I have seen a couple plows out going. Our ground's still a little bit wet, but the guys who do spring seedings, they put their alfalfa in early in the spring. They want it in as early as possible. Those guys usually get going real early. Once our ground dries out, we'll get rolling, but we're not gonna force it. We're still in March, so we're still early yet. But yeah, that's the kind of stuff we're gonna do today. Maybe clean off our silage pits, pull the plastic back, stuff like that. Just try to get ahead on all the little stuff that is time consuming. So when a couple of us are pulled off of the cow side of things, the rest of the guys that are over here aren't screwing around with that kind of stuff. So that's what we're gonna be up to today. So this lagoon up here is starting to get filled up as well. This is the smaller of our 2 lagoons. This lagoon is 1.1 million gallons. After the last time I emptied it, I kind of talked with Jack and I said, we got to let this thing fill up. The manure from our dry cow pen is so dry that it was just building up and getting way too thick. So currently we're just daily spreading that while we've got time and the field conditions are good. But I told Jack we got to let this thing fill right up so that way we've got more liquid in here and we can try to stir and agitate more out. There is probably 3 to 4 foot of sand in the bottom of this thing, and then you combine that with all that dry manure. It's just getting too thick and too dry. So we're gonna let this thing fill right up. My tentative plan is to let it get until we take triticale off, which will be the middle of May. So you're looking at, another month and a half. So this is supposed to be 6 months of storage for this barn, and I'm fairly certain we could easily get to triticale. Take triticale off, we'll back the pump in. I was thinking about backing it in on this end. I usually back it in on that end, but again, that end is so thick. I feel like a lot of the water ends up trapped down here because of the way that it builds up. So I thought about putting the pump in this end. This end's definitely waterier because it is the milk cow manure, not dry cow manure. So that was kind of my thought there. But yeah, we're gonna let this fill right up to the legal limit here, and we'll go from there. But just wanted to show you guys this lagoon. It's been a couple months since you guys saw it and since we pumped out. But those of you guys who have watched me for a while remember the last time I pumped out of there, it was so thick The spreader was barely spreading it outside the wheels, and it was taking like 20 minutes to load a spreader. It was absolutely insane. So yeah, one of the not so fun parts about sand, and dry cow manure, and the fact that this lagoon doesn't have any water going in it. All our parlor water and bunk water and everything go to our other lagoon because this is uphill from everything. It would be sweet if we could at least pump the parlor water up here. Something to maybe think about in the future. All right, well, we're getting rid of this dry cow manure quick. Ground conditions are actually pretty good. Just taking it to the way back of this field here. The back of it has some room for some manure. You can see we put a lot of pack manure in through here, and up in the front, that's where when I cleaned the sand out last fall, that got that, and we did get one layer of liquid on everything. But this field had a 25,000 gallon per acre rec, and I'm not gonna get anywhere near that. So we're gonna just kind of put these solids, like I said, back in the back of the field. This is usually pretty wet through here. Doesn't appear as though we're leaving any ruts. So yeah, it's surprisingly starting to dry out. You can see back here, like in through there, there hasn't been much manure put way in the back here. So perfect opportunity to get rid of these small loads, just bring them to the back. I'll be honest with you, I am kind of shocked at how dry this field is right now. Like, I know we were talking about other people plowing. Yeah, this could be plowed. We got 2 more nice days ahead of us and then a day of rain. Maybe I'll have to mention to Jack, maybe he can get hooked up and come give her a shot out here. I don't know. Again, it's early, but see, like these low spots, this is a little tacky yet, but we got 2 days of really good weather ahead of us here. Maybe, you know, Thursday he can come out and give her a shot. Potentially, we'll see. Figured I'd come down and bed this heifer barn while I had a minute. We don't bed these heifers very often, much at all, really. There's mattresses in here, but a little bit of bedding does help keep them dry. Also, being that we're so overcrowded in this heifer barn, a little bit of sand on the floor gives them a little bit of extra traction and grip. Keeps them from sliding around quite so bad. Because we do run very overstocked in this barn. Future plan is to build another barn right over here, hopefully this year, but who knows, it might be next year before that happens. But so they're overstocked. So while I had a chance, we're gonna go ahead and throw a little bit of bedding in this barn after he cleans them. All right, the heifer barn's all clean. I brought a load of sand up here to the fresh group, so that way when they go to the parlor this afternoon, we can go ahead and bed them. It's always amazing how quiet it is in this barn. Over 300 animals in here, and they're just happy and content. Seriously, if it wasn't for the squeaking of the headlocks, you wouldn't hear a sound. Love it. What do you think? It's one of my wife's cows. Nice upswing. All right, so now I got a little bit of free time. I'm gonna go fuel up the manure truck. And I think I've got something stuck in the gun on my dry hill Lagoon pump. I might pull that out of the pit, see if I can, it's probably an alley scraper wheel. 9 times out of 10, that's what gets hooked in there, because the gun on that pump is rifled to help really just get, you know, more speed out of there. But the problem is anything over probably 2.5, 3 inches, sometimes they'll get wedged in there on those riflings. So probably pull that out and see what's in there. Maybe we'll top that tractor off with fuel while we got it out. All right, well, we just got the missing parts for our Oxbo in the mail. It's 11:45, so we're headed to lunch here in about 15 minutes, but figured I'd swing over and replace these that are pretty egged out and worn with those. Also, the new shafts came in, the cam shafts. Tyler's got them put into the cams already. So I think we've got what we need to start wrapping this up. We get this, this workbench here put back to the way that it should be. You see we got all of our tying bars laid out. They're all rebuilt and ready to roll. So yeah, after lunch, back the sprayer out, pull the merger in, and get it buttoned up. All right, it's after lunch now. We're gonna get this sprayer backed out, pull the merger in. Just wanted to say, I don't run sprayer, but I love the way this handle is. I wish the chopper had a handle more set up like this with this curve to it. The chopper's more straight up and down, where this has a nice curve. The way you hold on to it, like if you just had your spout buttons here, I really like that handle, and I wish there was a way deer could put that in their choppers. That's one thing I liked. Well, it's one of the many things I liked better about the claws. That has like a mouse style handle where you hold your hand on top of it like this, and the spout and everything's on the side. But I do really like this handle. Kind of wish I could get this in a chopper, because that's a nice handle. All right, one of the first things we're gonna do before we even start putting these heads back together, a lot of these bolts on the bottom of this center head were so rusty that the bolts sheared when we were taking the strippers off. So we're just going on through and we're prying them out with a screwdriver. We got new J-nuts we're gonna put in there. Do that before we get the strippers and the head, you know, the tubes and stuff put back on, because then they'll be in your way. So we're just going on through and getting that polished up. All right, well, we ended up spending most of the afternoon. Well, okay, not most. We spent the whole afternoon working on this merger. We got this head just about buttoned up. We just got the few strippers left that are behind the skid plates. You can't really get an impact on them, so they're kind of a pain. This head, we got the tubes put back on, the cam put back on. That's as far as we got with this one. So yeah, she's coming along. She's coming along. We're on the downhill slide now, so should be good. All right, we got the sprayer pulled back in. Supposed to get down in the low 20s tonight, so that's back in. We're down to one head. That's pretty awesome. We got one more head to do, which, like I said, that's just a matter of putting the tying bars back on and the strippers back on. We got a skid plate to replace, grease the machine. I would like to pull the one head off and slide it in a little bit, but we'll see how we go for time. Tomorrow and Thursday, we're gonna be hauling manure, so those of you guys who like manure videos, be on the lookout. Anyways, that's going to do it for the night. Rock on, guys. Give them a rock on.
Rock on.
Big hell yeah. See you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.